Welcome to the Friendly Podcast Guide, sorting through podcasts so you don't have to. I'm Andy Smiley, and I want to help you discover the right podcast without having to listen to an entire episode. Now, let's talk podcasts. Howdy, and welcome back. I'm trying different intros because I get sick of saying hi, everybody. We'll see if it makes it to the final cut. This week's podcast is all about making the struggles of everyday anxiety less taboo, and comedian Jen Kirkman does a wonderful job making that happen. Here's some details about the show. The show description is comedian Jen Kirkman, who has had lifelong panic and general anxiety disorder, brings her life lessons, humor, and hope to a show that's about normalizing having anxiety so that we go from whispering dramatically, "I have anxiety," to saying out loud with a shrug, "Yeah, I have anxiety." Jen will interview experts with anxiety, be they PhDs, creatives, or spiritual gurus, for advice on how to self-diagnose, begin to treat, and how to live easily with everyday anxiety and panic. And at the very least, giving an interesting, relatable, calming listen. The length of each episode is about an hour. There is explicit language and some topics that may not be suitable for young listeners. The series is ongoing with new episodes available on Wednesdays. Before we learn more about the vibe of the show, we are going to take a quick break to talk about Olive & June nail polish. I love having nail polish on, but I don't want to spend the time and money to get my nails done at a salon. That is where Olive & June comes in. I use their mani system, and my nail polish will stay on for a week with no chipping. It brings me so much joy every time I look at my nails with these fun colors, and I want you to have that joy too. You can get 20% off a mani or pedi system by using the affiliate link in the show notes. Now, here is the trailer for Anxiety Bites.
Anxiety's really having a moment. It's in the zeitgeist and all these other buzzy things I hear the media saying, as though anxiety is the new hot accessory to have for 2021. But for people with anxiety, that can make you feel even more alone. Why is that? Because no one's really talking about it. Until now. I'm Jen Kirkman, host of the Anxiety Bites podcast, premiering on Wednesday, October 6th.
We all have times when we're anxious. And when we worry, for example, that can actually feed back and basically kick in our adrenaline that makes us more anxious.
I'm not a mental health professional. In fact, I'm a comedian and a writer, but I've had generalized anxiety disorder, panic disorder, and multiple phobias for decades. I also have a lot of recovery. So I'm an expert in having anxiety. And my attitude is, I seriously have anxiety, but I don't have to treat anxiety so seriously. So join me every week as I have conversations with esteemed experts in the field of anxiety, or even other artists with anxiety, as we talk honestly and factually about what anxiety even is and how we put it in its place.
The more you know about how your mind works, the more you'll be able to work with it.
I wanted to start this podcast because I think it's important to normalize conversations about anxiety. I want people who think they're going crazy, who think they're the only one who's ever felt that way, who think they're beyond help, to know that that is totally normal and not true.
The important thing to understand is that what you feel is not in your body. It's actually in your brain. Your brain is modeling your body in the world.
I wish this podcast had existed when I was younger, although that would have been weird because there was no internet and I would have been like, what is this? And that probably would have given me anxiety, but you know what I'm saying.
We're stronger than we think we are. And that's what I love to tell people. Like, you can handle so much more than you think you can handle.
Anxiety Bites premieres Wednesday, October 6th. Subscribe on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And this is your new favorite podcast.
Thank you for listening to this episode. If you want to hear about more podcasts, please follow or subscribe on your podcast app of choice. If you want fabulous nails without going to the salon, you can use my link in the show notes to get 20% off a mani or pedi system from Olive & June. Talk to you soon. Howdy, and welcome back.